Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna chat all things milk supply. Breastfeeding is freaking hard and scary, you guys, and I feel like I've been doing it long enough now to where I feel confident sharing 100% like what I know helped me versus like I tried a lot of things that did not help me, and yeah, I just feel confident sharing now and I feel like it will actually be helpful. So if this video is beneficial at all, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. It will really help my channel grow. Alright guys, let's get right into the video. Okay, so I wanted to start this video off by mentioning it is really crucial and important that right when you're in the hospital, you just start strong. You take all the advice you can and you follow through with it no matter how hard it is, because it is a lot easier to keep your supply up than it is to get your supply up. And I have also learned this the hard way, but yeah, just start strong. You're gonna have a flood of emotions after giving birth, and you're gonna be tired and traumatized, and breastfeeding's hard, so you are not gonna wanna do it, and it's harder for some than others, but regardless, you just need to remind yourself what your goal is, and if it is really important to you, especially with like the formula stuff going on, I just recommend you start super strong and go as hard as you possibly can, and just continuously remind yourself how important it is to you to have a successful breastfeeding experience, because like I said, you are going to want to give up. It's not easy. It feels like a full-time job. It is a full-time job, you just don't get paid. Alright guys, so I finally put baby girl down for her last nap of the day, so let's get on with this video before she wakes up. So initially when I was in the hospital, the only thing that I can seriously take credit for, or not even myself, but baby girl can take credit for, is her latch. Her latch was great from the start. Right away, she latched on perfectly, which helped me to be extremely successful with breastfeeding, because latch is usually a major problem from what I've heard. So I do have to add that her latch was great. Also, my milk didn't come in for 3 days, and that was stressful, but I kept reminding myself that being stressed out is just gonna slow my milk supply down and could even potentially risk me not getting milk or my milk not coming in because I was too stressed. So I kind of just wiped the stress clean and acted as if my milk was already in. I kept telling myself, just speak it into existence. So that's what I did, and my milk did come in 3 days later. Okay, so right when I got home from the hospital, my mother-in-law was actually staying with us and was just here to like help us with whatever, which ended up being so helpful for my milk supply, because she actually told me a lot of stuff that I didn't know or had not seen prior. So one of the things being that leafy greens are extremely good for milk supply. So we had a ton of salad every single day right when I got home, and then also a lot of oats. So oatmeal, oat milk, oats in general are great for milk supply and to bring in your milk. And then also, she made me an Arabic dessert right when I got home from the hospital. I forgot what it's called. I'll insert a picture of the dessert here as well as the name. And I also plan on sharing the recipe on my channel, just because, oh my gosh, this dessert is so good. And it really helped bring in my milk and kept my supply up, because I had like one a day for the entire first month of after I gave birth. And yeah, I truly stand by this dessert, and I really think it helped my supply. It's also really good for digestion and colicky babies, so not just for milk supply, which is a plus, because most babies do experience colic and it's not fun for them. So yeah, this dessert works for that as well. Now, right away, right when I gave birth, I knew to stay extremely hydrated. I don't have a problem with water anyways, and I'm always drinking water even before pregnancy in general, but you have to stay hydrated while breastfeeding. So yeah, I carry this with me everywhere I go, and constantly has water in it. Also, I don't really struggle with drinking water, but if you do, I really think it's helpful to, every time you feed or pump, drink a bottle of water, like half a bottle of water. Just drink it fast. If you don't sip throughout the day and drink water all day, then do it that way. Just like set a time to drink water because you need to get it in your system. You need to stay hydrated. So just make a schedule for drinking water essentially if you do struggle to stay hydrated. Okay, so along with drinking water, I bought these at Costco, which are liquid IVs. They're hydration multipliers and they are so good. I really like them. They kind of remind me of like a Propel, if you guys know what that is. It's basically just flavored water, but they're really good and they keep you extremely hydrated. Right now I have the lemon lime and tangerine flavor, but I already went through the strawberry flavor, the whole bag, and yeah, they were super tasty and they keep you super hydrated, so I would definitely recommend buying some of those. When I was in the hospital, my milk was not in yet. I was just producing like colostrum, if you guys know what that is. It is basically what you produce before your milk comes in. And it's not very satisfying for baby. It does not fill baby up, therefore she's going to be, or he, they're going to be a little bit fussy and not sleep very well just because their tummies are not getting full and satisfied. But don't worry, like I said, stress just slows the supply down and the milk down, so don't stress about it. Just put baby on the boob as often as possible right when you give birth, as many times as you can. You do need to get rest. That's also a really important aspect of milk, but as much as you can put baby on the boob, put baby on the boob. Okay, and so along with putting baby on the boob, the Haakaa. So I definitely recommend the Haakaa, especially if you're gonna struggle to pump constantly. I don't struggle to pump constantly, but I still use this, especially in the morning and twice. So at 4 a.m. I always use this, and then right when I wake up around 8 a.m. I use this because that is when I have the most milk and the most letdown, and so this is really helpful. And honestly, this was confusing for me when I first started, but you basically fold this over, put it on your boob, and then squeeze, let go, and it will suction the boob. You really don't even need to pump to have like a stash in your freezer if you use this regularly from the beginning. Well, depending on your supply, but yeah, you could be really successful with just this and not even pumping, because I actually could make a bottle with this just from the 2 times that I use it. I also went to Target before I gave birth and got a bunch of lactation snacks just because I knew they could be super helpful. And I wasn't super sure they would work, but I figured it was worth a try, and they definitely worked. So I don't have them on me. I finished all of them and I need to get more. But I will insert some photos here of the snacks that I bought from Target. And they were really good, and I would keep them on my bedside and literally snack on them all the time, especially because when you first get home from the hospital, it's really hard to make sure that you're full and constantly eating, because you're so busy with the baby and tired, and yeah, just keeping those snacks on your bedside, super helpful. I also bought these from Target when I bought the snacks, and honestly, these were super helpful and they worked. They're not as tasty as the liquid IVs to me, but they're still good and, like I said, super helpful, and they worked. So I would definitely recommend buying these. And you just pour them, I believe, in 8 ounces to 16 ounces of water, 8 ounces of water, and you shake it up. So I'll just drink some of my water bottle, pour it in there, shake it up, pour it over ice in my cup, and it worked. The most important part would be your pump. So I have 2. I have a hands-free pump, and I also have a like hospital grade, I think is what it's called, pump. It's the Motif Twist, and honestly it's a great pump, but I do not use it just because it is so big. Actually, it's not even that big, but compared to my hands-free pump, it's super inconvenient. I have the bra and everything where I can just sit there hands-free as well, but honestly, compared to my Mom Cozy, it sucks. So yeah, the Mom Cozy was just super helpful, and I was pumping all day, every 2 hours. I still am. So this just slipping right into my bra was the best case scenario, and it just kept me consistent. So the Motif Twist was just pointless to me just because I wasn't going to be consistent with it, because it just felt like a lot going on. and this one's so easy. So we'll get into that right now. Baby girl's crying. I'll be right back. All right, guys, so baby girl is not having nap time today, and she just wants to hang out with her mom, so that is what we're doing. But I do want to finish this video, so back to the mom cozy. This pump is what was easiest for me to just stay consistent, which is the most important part of breastfeeding. Whatever you do, you have to be consistent to see results. So if you do it for one day and then skip a day, you are going to backtrack and you are going to see that. All right, so this pump, like I said, super easy. How I use it is I stick it in my bra, I pump for 30 minutes, and then, which is like the full amount of time, and then I pour it into my storage containers, put it in the fridge, and then I put these in the fridge for the next use. I do that every like 3 pumps. So yeah, I'll pump 3 times, keep putting it in the fridge, and then after the 3rd time, I put it in the sink and I wash it, and then I have 2 sets of these now, so I'll just kind of swap them out as I'm using them. And that's also been helpful, but honestly, to me, it's not that hard of work to just wash them really quick. This is the motor, and this is the Mom Cozy S12 model, and this pump is amazing for the price. So a lot of my friends have the LV, and they've told me that the suction is not great. They didn't get a lot of milk, and they don't really use it compared to their hospital grade pump. I disagree wholeheartedly with this pump. It is amazing. The suction's great. It has 9 levels, and I don't even really have to use the 9th level, which is great. I usually start at the 3rd level, and then like every 2 minutes I go up until I get to like 8 or 9. If I even go to 8 or 9, you really don't have to. There's 2 different modes, so it's like the massager mode, and then I forgot what the other one's called, but yeah, I usually use the one with the 2 droplets. And yeah, this pump is great, and then I can get 3 full pumps out of this before I have to charge it again, which is pretty great. And honestly, charging it is not a problem. It comes with the chargers, and you can even hook them up in your car, super easy. And then when I first got home from the hospital, every time I would pump, I would pour the milk into little bags and put it in the freezer, but I quickly realized that was absolutely stupid. I was wasting bags. But now what I do is I pour all my AM pumps into 1 bottle, and then all my PM pumps into 1 bottle, and then I split it up 3 ounces per bag, which is what she's drinking right now. But like as time goes on, I'll do 4 ounces and then 5 and then 6. I think that is the easiest and best way to do it, most convenient, just so that when you thaw your milk for baby, you don't have to do, you know, like 2 ounces in one to make a 3-ounce bottle. You just have them all organized that way. But your body does produce different milk in the morning than at night, so I don't recommend mixing your AM and PM milk. Also, I do recommend you educate yourself on the temperatures of the milks, because you definitely don't want to mix body temperature milk that you freshly pumped with milk that's already in the refrigerator. You have to cool it before you mix them together, if that makes sense. You also need to make sure you are eating enough, which I struggled with a lot, but you have to do it. So whether that be planning ahead of time before you even get out of the hospital, like maybe purchasing meal preps if you're able to, and if you're not able to, making them yourself. Super, super helpful. Or if anyone offers to do anything or bring anything for you, definitely meal preps, because you need to be eating constantly. But between learning how to nurse, nursing in general, changing baby and sleeping and healing, all of that, it's hard to feed yourself. So I definitely recommend having that organized before you come home from the hospital. Also, like I said, oats are extremely good for milk supply, so every single morning I would go downstairs, make myself a protein shake with oat milk and a little bowl of oatmeal, and I would just put brown sugar, cinnamon, and honey in it. And yeah, oatmeal is amazing for milk supply, and oats, I would even add like granola to my protein shake in the mornings. So as many oats as you can get in, that is super, super helpful. Okay, so I think I covered everything that I did and consumed to either bring my milk in or keep my supply up. So yeah, I think that is pretty much everything. But lastly and most importantly, a pumping schedule. So you cannot just pump when you want to if you want to create a really strong stash. Now you can still have a stash, like I said, with the Xoxo, or just pumping when you absolutely need to or when you're engorged. But if you want a strong stash and a really good supply of milk, you need to have a consistent pumping schedule, which means every 2 hours you need to be feeding and pumping. So what I would do is I would nurse baby girl for about 20 minutes, give or take, and then I would pump for 30 minutes every 2 hours. Even if I was pumping nothing, I still would do it, and it sucked. Now I wouldn't say I'm pumping every 2 hours. I would say every 2 to 3.5 hours is when I'm pumping now. I probably have gone over that now that I feel like I'm pretty established with my milk, but rarely. And if I'm home, I pump every 2 hours. But yeah, a pumping schedule is super important. I will insert the one that I used here, but if you go on Pinterest and search pumping schedules, you'll see all kinds of pumping schedules that work for you. Anyways, guys, that is pretty much it when it comes to how I got my milk supply in and strong. And I really hope that some of the things that I talked about really help you guys bring in your milk or get your supply up. If you have any questions regarding any of the things that I talked about, please don't hesitate to comment down below. And stay tuned because I will be uploading my recipe that my mother-in-law made for me that really helped me bring in my milk right when I came home from the hospital. I will be uploading that this week. So yeah, can't wait to share that with you guys, and thank you guys so much for watching. See you next time.